South India, a land where geography shaped destiny, and where every hill, river, and forest played a role in the unfolding of history. Dense forests, towering hills, winding rivers, and a powerful coastline formed a natural fortress, creating boundaries that were as formidable as any man-made wall. Invaders often underestimated these features, mistaking them for mere obstacles rather than the living, breathing assets they truly were. The land was not passive. It actively shaped the fate of those who dared to cross it. The western and eastern Ghats, with the Deccan Plateau between, created layers of defense, each one more challenging than the last, each demanding respect and ingenuity from those who traversed them. This interconnected landscape demanded cunning and adaptability, forcing both locals and outsiders to learn its secrets or risk being lost within its depths. Southern kingdoms thrived by mastering their environment, turning nature into their greatest ally. They built their homes, temples, and fortresses in harmony with the land, drawing strength from its protection. The land itself became a weapon, outsmarting those who tried to conquer it. Rivers became moats, cliffs became walls, and forests became shields. Here, strategy was born from the earth. Every campaign, every defense was shaped by the contours of the land, and every victory was a testament to understanding its power. The South's story is one of resilience, where the land rose to defend its people, and where communities learned to thrive in harmony with their surroundings. This is not just history, it's the saga of a region forged by nature's hand, where every stone and stream has a story to tell. The land was never just a backdrop. It was the first and fiercest defender, standing guard through centuries, shaping the destiny of South India. Picture a warrior on a hilltop, surveying the vast expanse below as the first light of dawn breaks over the land. Every rise and dip in the earth, every shadow cast by the trees, holds meaning for him. The landscape is not just a backdrop, it is a living, breathing ally, full of secrets waiting to be unlocked. He sees opportunity in every feature of the land. Forests became shields, offering cover and concealment, while rivers turned into highways, allowing for swift movement and surprise attacks. The dense jungles and winding waterways were not obstacles, but powerful tools in the hands of those who understood them. The terrain itself was a weapon, shaping the very nature of battle. Rocky outcrops and steep hills provided natural fortresses, while marshes and thick undergrowth slowed down invaders unfamiliar with the land. Southern armies trained relentlessly in these jungles, learning to move unseen, to strike swiftly, and to vanish before the enemy could react. Their agility and knowledge of the wild gave them a unique advantage. Rivers ferried troops and supplies, transforming the landscape into an extension of their strategy. Boats and rafts became as important as swords and shields, enabling armies to appear where least expected. Adaptability was key. Armies had to be as fluid as the rivers they crossed, constantly adjusting their tactics to the ever-changing environment. Flexibility and quick thinking often meant the difference between victory and defeat. Scouts from local tribes knew every hidden path, every shortcut, and every weather pattern. Their knowledge gave Southern armies a crucial edge, allowing them to anticipate changes and outmaneuver their foes. This deep connection with the land made Southern forces unpredictable and formidable. They could blend into the landscape, striking from the shadows and disappearing without a trace. Warfare here was an art, turning adversity into advantage, transforming every obstacle into an opportunity for victory. The land itself became a silent partner in every campaign. The hallmark of South Indian strategy was simple yet profound. Master the land, and you master the enemy. Generals spent years studying the terrain, perfecting their understanding of every valley and ridge. Every battle was a dance with nature, a test of wit and will, and in this dance the South always led, turning the wild into their greatest strength. In the shadowy forests of the South, guerrilla warriors ruled with silent mastery. These fighters were not just soldiers, they were hunters, trackers, and masters of their environment, blending seamlessly with the wild landscape around them. Stealth and surprise replaced brute force. Small, agile units struck swiftly, then melted away into the undergrowth before the enemy could react. Their movements were like whispers in the wind, impossible to predict or contain. They targeted vital supply lines, ambushed marching columns, and spread confusion and fear among their foes. Every path through the jungle could be a trap, every shadow a threat. Imagine a massive army, lost and harried by unseen foes, arrows raining from the trees, chaos erupting in the ranks. the invaders found themselves fighting not just men, but the very forest itself. The forests became their greatest allies, offering endless cover, secret paths, and countless ways to escape. Every tree and thicket was a shield, every clearing a potential ambush. Hit-and-run tactics wore down the invaders, sapping their morale and draining their strength. The enemy grew weary, never knowing when or where the next attack would come. The South fought on its own terms, refusing to meet the enemy in open battle unless by choice. They dictated the rules, forcing their foes to play a game they could never win. Guerrilla warfare was not cowardice. It was survival, ingenuity, and brilliance. It was the art of turning weakness into strength and adversity into opportunity. These warriors proved that the sharpest weapon is often the most elusive, and that true power lies in adaptability and cunning. Their victories echoed in legend, whispered through the rustling leaves and carried on the wind, inspiring generations to come. The South's strength lay in turning the land into a silent, deadly partner, a force as formidable as any army, and a legacy that endures in the heart of the wild. The southern kingdoms looked to the sea and saw opportunity. The Chola Navy, masters of the Indian Ocean, projected power far beyond their shores. Their warships were technological marvels, carrying warriors and ambition to distant lands. Naval dominance meant control of trade, wealth, and influence. Fleets defended the long coastline, patrolled against pirates, and secured vital ports. Islands became strategic outposts, extending their reach and safeguarding routes. The sea was not a barrier, but a bridge to the world. Southern kingdoms embraced maritime power, shaping their destiny on the waves. Their legacy, a region connected, defended, and enriched by the ocean. The roar of the surf was the drumbeat of their rise. Rising from the hills, South India's forts were masterpieces of defense. Hill forts commanded sweeping views, their layered walls nearly impregnable. Ingenious traps, hidden passages, and deadly defenses awaited attackers. Forts like Gingee stood as symbols of power, withstanding siege after siege. These structures were more than military. They were royal residences and centers of governance. Built with local materials and natural features, they blended engineering with the landscape. Their presence warned invaders this land would not fall easily. Forts embodied the ingenuity and determination of the South. They remained silent sentinels, testaments to a legacy of resilience. In stone and strategy, the South's spirit endures. In the South, war was as much mental as physical. Psychological tactics, false retreats, decoys, and misinformation kept enemies off balance. Loyalty to king and land fueled unbreakable resolve. The Vijayanagara Empire mastered these arts, turning rivalries and confusion into weapons. Victory often came from outthinking, not just outfighting the enemy. The greatest battles were won in the mind, not just on the field. Adaptability and cunning defined South Indian warfare. Here, the art of war was a contest of intellect as much as arms.